I'll tell you a story and then I'll open it up for questions because I know you guys have some questions. I'll give you a story about emunah in the most difficult time in a person's life. There's a tzaddik by the name of Avraham Aronovich. Recently died at the age of 96. Rabbi Avraham Aronovich was a survivor of the Holocaust. And he tells a story of what he experienced during the Holocaust. Now I know personally, I failed the test already. Before even just starting the story, I failed the test that he had. Why? There's no way in the world that I could survive. Now in the Holocaust, there was all types of tortures that the evil Nazis, Yimach Shimam v'Zichram, did to the Jews. All types of experiments, Hashem Yachem, all types of killings, all types of torture, mental, physical, everything and anything possible. These people were the most vicious people on the planet. Now, before the Holocaust, everyone looked at the Germans, the Nazis, as the most kind and polite people in the world, because they would always say thank you, thank you, thank you. People think that if you say thank you, that makes you kind, that makes you polite. No, just you know how to speak. Doesn't mean anything. What's in your heart is what matters. So now, during the Holocaust, everything came out, and they started becoming what they really were the whole time. One of the evil Nazi generals decided for himself to calm himself down every day. He had to kill at least one person a day. He had to kill somebody. That's, some people, they watch sports for fun. Some people, they eat a lot for fun. Some people, they go out with, new wives every day. Some people, other people have different crazy things that they do. This guy, his fun was he had to kill somebody a day. Every day he had to kill somebody. Now, how do you pick? You go into one of the places, one of the barracks. Look at the group of guys. Look at the people there. You, come. Kill him on the spot in front of everybody. Everybody knew as soon as he pointed at somebody, start saying Kaddish. Because he not only killed him, he killed him in front of everybody. Imagine being that person. Rabbi Avraham Aronovich says, one day, he comes in, everyone's scared to death, because even though we're living under the worst conditions there is known to man, the desire to live is something every normal human being has. Desire to live, every normal human being has it. The people that commit suicide, they've crossed that line. They're no longer normal. Once they jump off the cliff, they become normal because reality checks in. But before that, they're chemically imbalanced, something happens, they lose their will to live. Something happens to them, literally. I know this from somebody that actually tried committing suicide. Jumped off of the Golden Gate Bridge. He's only one of 2 people that ever survived. And he said, I wanted to kill myself because my life was XYZ, the worst, blah, blah, blah. All the worst descriptions in the world you can say. I wanted to kill myself and I was right for doing it. Until I jumped. He says himself in a video. He says, the second I jumped off the second my feet left the pavement from the Golden Gate Bridge, I regretted everything, especially jumping. Because I knew I could have done this better, I could have done that better. If I had more time, if I had another chance, all of a sudden the problem wasn't really that bad. Why? Because death was staring at me in the face. I knew I was going to die. The fact that he lived, obviously, is a miracle of miracles to tell us the story today. But the people in the Holocaust, if this general pointed at them, they knew for sure they're going to die. And unfortunately, everyone else was there to watch. Because they still wanted to live. And one day, this general comes in, Yimach Shimo v'Zichro, and he points at a Yankale. And he says, Yankale, Yankale, I'm looking for Yankale, such and such. And Yankale couldn't stand it. He couldn't handle the test. And he broke. And he points at Rabbi Aronovich. He goes, Yankale, no, go, Yankale, go. As if it's him. Yankale, go, it's your turn. No, it's your turn. Go, Yankale. Now everybody knows he's not Yankale. That's Rabbi Aronovich. But they're not saying anything. Rabbi Aronovich says, in that moment, I decided to take on myself not to be a moser. What's a moser? Taking somebody and sending him to the goyim. Calling the IRS on him. Calling the cops on him. Calling the authorities on him. Putting him in trouble. Why? You're not allowed to do that as a Jew. You have to be very, very careful before you call the cops on another Jew. You have to be very, very careful before you call the IRS or the authorities on another Jew. Why? Because din moser, if somebody's a moser, they do such a thing without doing tshuva, guess what? No olam haba. That's how easy it is to lose. How many people are jealous of their neighbor and they end up calling the authorities? Yeah, I don't think his balcony is legal. I don't think his driveway is legal. They call the authorities anonymously. Anonymously, they call the authorities to tell them, I don't think that his balcony is legal and his roof is legal and the second floor he built is legal, because they're jealous. It's blocking my view. Steals from you is a different story. You take him to a bedin. You take him to a bedin. You have rabbis over there. They're going to decide, is it true? Did he steal? Did he not true? You bring your evidence. He brings his evidence. You go to a bedin. Now the bedin invites him. If he rejects it 3 times, they first of all put him on cherem, and then you're allowed, you get the permission from the bedin to go to a regular court. But you cannot simply call the cops or the IRS or the authorities by default. And Rabbi Aronovich said, I knew if I said I'm not Yankele, on the spot he's killing him. So I decided at that moment, I'm going to be Yankele. I'm not going to say nothing, but you're going to die. He goes in, he joins the general, and the general says, today I decided to do the opposite. You live, everybody else dies. And he killed everybody else. Hashem yirachem. Now, Rabotai, you ask yourself a question. At the moment of truth, Hashem yirachem, how many of us, just not even imaginary, just even in your small little bit of an imagination, how many of us would do the same thing? Me, I already told you before the story started, I failed. Before the story, I'll start giving Yankele a social security number. Why? I want to live. I want to live. But that's why we tell the story about him and not me. You see, Rabotai Karim, when he died, his Keilah, his Talmidim say, he lived the pasuk that Shlomo HaMelech says, Shomer pir v'shono, shomer mitzarot nafsho. Shlomo HaMelech says in Proverbs 21:23, one who guards his mouth and his tongue guards his soul from trouble. If a person knows how to watch their mouth, what they say, what they should say, what they shouldn't say, when to say, what to say, under difficult conditions, not easy, under difficult conditions, you watch your mouth, you're going to watching your soul. You're protecting your soul. Which means that if you have that high level of emunah and bitachon in Hashem at that moment, that means that regardless of what happens, even if somebody points at you and says, yes, you're the one that's Yankele, when you know very well you're definitely not Yankele, and you don't even know who Yankele is, you're going to say, I'm Yankele for now. Why? If my deen in Shamayim is to die, it doesn't matter if I'm Yankele or not. Hashem decides for me to die, it makes no difference if I'm Yankele or not. If Hashem decided for me not to die, Hashem, what difference does it make if I'm Yankele or not? That's emunah and bitachon in Hashem under difficult conditions. That's the point of what we're supposed to learn from the Torah. It's not having emunah and bitachon under easy conditions. It's under difficult conditions. When you're sweating, when you don't have any money, when all of the problems that we have in life, that's what the Torah is for.